All rise. The Superior Court of the State of California, County of San Joaquin, Department of A220 is now in session. The Honorable Judges Kavanaugh and Rubin now presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
Would the defendant please stand?
My name is Chris Mersault. I'm the defendant of this case.
You are charged with
second degree
murder. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty.
He only killed the Arab because of self-defense, not from any ill criminal intentions.
The defendant cut short a man's life, committing a murder in the second degree.
There is a misconception that Mersault has a complete disregard for life and is completely careless in his actions, killing the Arab purely out of pure cold blood.
After the end of this trial, we respectfully ask that you find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder.
We ask to acquit all charges pressed against Mersault, as he only committed justifiable homicide based on the act of self-defense.
The prosecution may now call its first witness.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you can?
Yes. I do.
Thank you, Becky.
Yeah, I do.
He seems very aloof and different. He was usually away from the other people. I don't believe I saw him cry.
He seemed tired from the journey and a bit uninterested in the process.
He didn't really visit his mother that much, especially not in this last year. He seemed kind of stoic that day.
Why do you say that?
Well, to give an example, I went to open the casket so that way you could see his poor mom's body there, but he stopped me.
I feel that all humans deserve their justice. However, Mersault is no particular, he's not a normal human, and due to different mindset, so I think that Mersault is a danger to society.
I have learned that he fired 5 shots, but that there was a break between the first and second, so I asked him about this.
Now, what was the defendant's reasoning for delaying after their first shot into the victim?
He didn't have a reasoning, he was quiet, he wouldn't respond. It makes him more susceptible to taking part in heinous crimes. Therefore, I personally see him as a danger to society.
If Ramon wanted to kill the Arab, did you stop him?
Of course I tried to stop him. I thought he would do something irrational, so I took his gun from him, hoping that it would stop him from doing something out of hand. Once I walked back to the beach, I was completely paralyzed by the heat. I saw him coming up to me with his knife unsheathed, and all I could think of was just the sweet oasis of water behind him. And as I trudged forward, all I could do was shoot. It was an instinctual thing to pull out my gun and shoot, especially seeing what happened to Ramon earlier.
Do you agree that you could have very easily backed away from the situation to defuse it?
I could have, but I elaborate.
Yes.
As I explained before, this constant heat that was pounding down my face in the red beach and the red sand that burst out of the ground was like too daunting for me to ignore. It felt like I had no control over the situation, and the trigger simply gave to my hand.
We look out for each other. Mersault did not want me to get hurt, which is why when we returned together, he didn't want me to use the gun. He took it away from me. Violence, that's why we're here, right?
Should we really value their opinion on who is of good character?
I would say that this was probably more of my fault than Mersault's, because Mersault, again, looking out for me, he was the one who told me not to shoot. He was the one who, he kept his distance the first time, and then he saw me get injured.
At first he seemed a little
strange, but he was super polite and like he was just going along having a fun time, and he was also like a loyal friend.
Did you feel threatened by the Arabs in any way?
I did. I mean, they had a knife on them. I didn't know if they could have hurt all of us.
What are your opinions of the Arabs after you saw the injury?
I thought they were very dangerous. I didn't know what else they could do if we were even safe in that house again.
Would you say that this dangerous demeanor of the Arabs can cause people to act in self-defense?
Yes, of course.
Have you ever expressed towards the defendant any sort of wish for taking the relationship further?
Yes.
And has his response been one that you have expected?
I mean, well, we've only seen each other for a couple of weeks at the time when he was free, so I understand. But he said if I wanted to get married, we could get married.
Did that not come off as odd to you?
No, because I would agree with any man that wanted to do whatever I wanted to do. So.
From my view, he was very supportive. He tried to help me find a new dog.
I think Mersault is a down-to-earth and loyal guy, and the case of the death of the era was just that luck.
The prosecution has been brought to the standing that we believe the defendant to be guilty of murder in the second degree of an Arab man victimized by a volley of 5 shots of lead. We are dealing here with a man today unfazed by immorality, whether by his own hands or the hand of another's. The defendant is clearly a menace to society, and I trust that they will make the correct ruling that the individual is guilty of all things charged.
Monsieur Mersault is an absurdist. He lives life for the experiences and finds meaning in his own way. But the information that you have does not prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Monsieur Mersault is guilty of the crime for which he's being charged.
Members of the jury, we are here today to discuss the case of Prince Mersault versus Algiers. He believes that he could have backed away from the situation, meaning that he could have not shot the Arab. Therefore, this was not self-defense, as he had a way out.
Going along with that, I do believe it, because the first shot, I believe, could have been self-defense, but because of the 4 shots after that, I am leaning towards it was a little more than just self-defense.
Yes, I agree with that.
I agree with that, because the first shot, after that, there was a pause, and this could give him time to contemplate his actions, but instead he continued, even though a knife is not as big of a danger as a gun.
Had the Arab came after, so he would have had time to fire, but he just kind of flashed the knife instead of actually attacking himself.
I well, he was blaming on the weather and how hot it was, yet the defense attorneys had said it was because he's a different human being than we are, and his personality is different than someone like us.
He lives truly for the experiences, yet on this day he claims that he had no control over it and the sun told him to shoot the Arab.
We get overheated all the time. We live in California. Do any of you guys go out and like murder people? Because I know I don't.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not think it's a valid reason.
Mersault's testimony and his defense's argument, they're not, there's no correlation. I don't believe that he felt he was entirely in control of his actions.
At the same time, the defense in its closing statement deemed Mersault as a stranger, yet they said that he's not any less human. Mm-hmm. So are we able to judge him based off his views? Or do we judge him at a plain field?
I think we should leave his views of life out of the equation and simply judge him based on the crime and the evidence presented.
And it's true with all of the characters. They met him in such a short amount of time of when this happened. It's really on who can give you the best understanding of the day.
I don't think that a dangerous demeanor can feasibly lead to using a weapon in self-defense.
And so he seems to be treating people like just like with instrumental value. No, they don't really have like anything more to give because they're just people. Like, and it relates to Mersault and Raymond's friendship. How they're just like will look out for each other. Like they use them for what is valuable for them.
We have 2 options. guilty of second-degree murder, or not guilty based on self-defense. I have papers to vote. Guilty of second-degree murder. The jury find the defendant guilty of second-degree murder.
That concludes the case for Mersault. You get to sentence him to death for that.